Yo, what's going on? It's your boy Jack D Snack back at it again with another video. And today I'm kind of making a more serious video on something that's come up a little bit in my life that I think is a message a lot of people need to hear that I want to talk about. So, for context, when I was a kid, and pretty much for my entire adult life, I've been very skinny. Like, I've always been around like 130, 135 pounds, always a thin looking guy, never really had that much weight to begin with, but I ate a lot of food. And one of the main things that I used to eat to gain weight or just because it tasted good was sugar. I would eat a lot of cakes, candies like Skittles, Airheads, just all kinds of sugar. And when I turned 19, I think, I got a job at Dunkin' Donuts. And for those of you that don't know, a lot of Dunkin' Donuts restaurants allow you to basically eat free food if you're an employee. So I took full advantage of that and I just ate a ton of Dunkin' Donuts because it's delicious. Donuts, sandwiches, milkshakes, the whole nine yards. The dragon fruit refreshers, bro. I mean, it's fire, right? And it was all for free. Me being skinny, I've always wanted to like gain weight and stuff like that. And I just decided, you know what? If I eat all this sugar and all this carbs and all this stuff, I will gain weight. Like that was originally the plan. Turns out, number one, I didn't gain weight because it's all like empty calories. It's all garbage. I mean, didn't really gain weight. Although I do know that people with, I think, slower metabolisms than me probably could gain a lot of fat off of sugar, but that's not necessarily good. Around 3 months ago, started having some symptoms of what I thought was type 2 diabetes. My fingers were tingling. I had like kind of blurry vision. I was not coordinated. My balance was kind of off, whatever. So I made the call with my primary care physician and I went in to see my doctor. So I go into the doctor's office after I got my blood tested. And for those of you that don't know, when you get your blood tested for diabetes, you have to do a fast. So you can't eat for like 10 hours. So I got my blood tested. I got the results and my doctor said that all my vitals looked good. And then he said, you are insulin resistant, which is basically code for pre-diabetic. Blood sugar was like 110 ACL, which isn't crazy like into the pre-diabetic territory. I do know that like actual diabetes is like 125 ACL or over, but that's still in the range, you know what I mean? Like it's still high. And it immediately dawned on me like, oh my goodness, I've been consuming way too much sugar and refined carbs as well, like, white bread and pasta and stuff like that. Just my whole diet basically consisted not only just of sugar, but also of like very sedentary lifestyle, not really exercising that much. When I found out about this, I was extremely grateful that I was able to catch it early. And so what I did was basically immediately cut out all processed sugar from my diet, immediately cut out all refined carbs from my diet. And for 3 months straight, I subsisted off of whole grain pizzas, homemade pizzas, whole wheat sandwiches, burgers, and stuff like that on slices of whole wheat bread. And I'm not gonna lie, it sucked. But the reason why I'm making this video now is because I did this for 3 months and I got tested again. And today I found out that I am no longer a pre-diabetic. I'm actually in the perfect normal blood sugar range. So the reason why I wanted to make this video is because the diabetes epidemic, especially in the United States, is something that not many people are talking about. And it really bothers me. I was never educated about this in school. I know a lot of kids aren't. It's not really seen as that big of a deal, but trust me when I tell you it is. It absolutely is. The symptoms of long-term type 2 diabetes are foot neuropathy, where basically your foot is extremely numb and tingling, blurry vision, which could lead to blindness, hypoglycemia, which could cause convulsions and have you slip into a coma. It's real. This is a real disease and it's affecting a lot of people in this country. And I think the reason why so many people have it is because they're not getting tested. And so, like, as you saw in the title of the video, the purpose of this video is to spread awareness. And if you have insurance or if you have people whom has insurance, whatever, please get tested. I really cannot strongly encourage this enough. If you're somebody who eats a lot of sugar, eats a lot of carbs, whatever. Obviously, if you're somebody who's like a complete health nut, eats great food and never eats anything processed or anything sugary, fine. You can exclude yourself from this category here. But this video is for the people like me who have a sweet tooth, eat a lot of sugar, eat a lot of fast food maybe, whatever it is. And I get it. Sugar is good. It tastes good. It's unfortunately extremely unregulated in this country and the FDA doesn't care. there. I mean, a packet of like Jello pudding has like, 20 grams of sugar in it. It's insanity. So we as Americans mainly are consuming way more sugar just in normal food that our bodies are able to process. I think that's why the diabetes rate is so high in this country. I think it's why so many Americans develop it without even knowing. And you do develop it without knowing. Like the symptoms, you can be asymptomatic for years, decades even. Once you get it, it's pretty much a permanent thing, and then you might have to take insulin and you have to constantly monitor it. And it's just a giant pain that I think a lot of people could avoid if they got tested, because then they could at least either see that they have type 2 diabetes or be like me and have pre-diabetes and then make the necessary lifestyle changes to bring that down. Like I'm never going to go back to eating processed sugar again for the rest of my life. It's out. Like, it does my body no favors. It was the cause of this to begin with. And there are so many other foods that taste delicious that don't have excess sugar in them. Like they do exist. It's being marketed towards so many people because it's basically a drug. I mean, it's addictive. And that's why the food industry and the FDA doesn't care the harmful effects of it, because it's how they're making their money. And it's being promoted to kids, to children. It's just insane. So anyways, I'm kind of rambling, but yeah, if you have insurance or if you can afford to get it done, just get tested. See where you're at, see what your blood sugar is at, if it's too high, if it's too low even, which is a possibility, whatever. I don't understand why physicals don't require this, don't just include a simple test, but they don't. It's something that you have to request. It's something that I had to request. I had to call my doctor and basically ask him to order the test for me. So what I'm saying is that nobody's going to do this for you unless you already have symptoms of diabetes, excuse me, in which case it's already too late. So if you could please share this video with anybody and everybody. I'm not doing this for clout. I'm not doing this for attention. I'm not doing this to make money. I'm simply doing this to spread awareness, because the rate of diabetes in this country is going through the stratosphere. And I'm telling you, by like 2050, it's probably going to be like 1 in 3 Americans. It just is, because it's not a weight thing. I used to think it was a weight thing. I used to think if you're overweight, you're more at risk. That's not true. That's just not true. You can be skinny, you can be overweight, you can be a normal body weight. It doesn't matter. If you're consuming a lot of excess sugar, you are putting yourself on the fast track towards developing type 2 diabetes. This video is an anti-sugar video. It's pretty much just like an anti-unawareness video. You know what I mean? Like more people should be aware of this. I wasn't aware of it, and I nearly paid the ultimate price for it. I'm extremely blessed and extremely lucky that I took the initiative to get tested, that the test was accurate, and that I could reverse it. But so many people in my position aren't lucky like that. They don't know, they're not aware of it, and then suddenly one day they have the symptoms of type 2 diabetes, and it's a permanent part of their life.